Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt, joined by my good buddy Adam Glyn, who is out in New York just killing it. I heard you got a ton of big celebrities coming into town. How did you do today with these celebs, dude?
I didn't do well. I'm not going to lie. I missed Sylvester Stallone. I missed John Cena. I did not do well. I'm very disappointed.
You can't miss... No. You cannot miss Sylvester Stallone when he is one of the biggest things in news right now.
Yeah, I did. It was... I just did not get him, bottom line, and it stinks, and I'm not happy. But coming up is the MTV Music Awards. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some other people that will come in this weekend that'll be just as good.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks.
No worries.
I know the feeling of like you just want it so bad, and then womp womp.
Yeah, it's part of the job, and you know what? It comes with the territory. Sometimes, you know, it's part of the job is luck. Unfortunately, luck wasn't on my side this one.
All right, well, let's get into the Raw Rundown. Let's not dwell on this anymore. We got so many things in entertainment news. We got the top 10 stories to get you caught up before going into the weekend. Before we start that, I want to hit up a couple iTunes reviews for people that took the time to leave us a little review and give them a shout out. So let me read them one. Okay, this one comes from RME Wi-Fi, maybe? WIF1. So glad I found y'all from Milton, Georgia. Go Dogs! Well, thank you so much for leaving the review. However, it would be nice, and I try to remind you guys all the time, if you're going to leave a review, just throw your name on here. Just at the end of the review so I can give you a proper shout-out to your name, not REMWIF1.
Yeah, it looks like your Wi-Fi password or something like that you put up there.
But no, honestly, thank you for taking the time.
So nice
All right,
of you.
Let's do another one. Next one says, this from Largo88, 5 stars, a part of my morning ritual. Love your podcast. The most interesting topics, and you guys are the realest. I listen to all your podcasts while I get ready in the morning. Nothing better and so entertaining. You make the mornings a lot easier. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work. LA. So thank you. That was an awesome review. I mean, you hit us exactly where we love it, the sweet spot where, you know, we want to be that morning ritual for you. So thank you.
Yes. All right, Dax. Now on to the top 10 stories of the week. Starting with number 10.
You only want 2 this week? You only want 2 reviews? We're just jumping in?
Yeah, let's get right to it.
Okay. I guess what Adam says goes, guys. Sorry. Whoever wrote number 3, you're out.
We'll get to you next week. What's the top 10 stories of the week, starting with number 10?
Number 10. All right. Obviously, Jake Paul has failed to find a fight. You know, he went from a YouTuber to a truly good boxer, and he can't find anyone to fight him. So now Rick Ross is offering $10 million to anyone willing to box Jake Paul. You know, he had a couple failed fights, one to Tommy Fury and one to Rahim. How do you say his last name?
Yeah, something like that.
Rahaman?
Anyway, it doesn't
Jr.
matter.
Hasim Rahaman Jr., I think is how you say the other boxer's name. But there's just been issue after issue. No one stepping in the ring. And so Rick Ross says, look, I'm going to offer $10 million on top of the fight purse, which is whatever the person will agree to fight with, you know, like their paycheck to fight. He's going to give them $10 million on top of it just to get in the ring and fight Jake Paul, which what I'm trying to say, why? Like, why does Rick Ross care?
I don't understand why he get involved. It's not... to be honest with you, it was fun at first, but the whole Jake Paul fighting situation, it's not fun. It's not interesting. It's not entertaining because he never fights really a boxer. It's just, you know, you want to be a boxer?
Well, no
fight
boxers want to fight him, right?
I don't think I don't understand what the story is. You know, they want to do these celebrity fights, and I want to see him fight a boxer or fight someone who's legit. Let's see how legit you are as a fighter, not against a UFC guy who's not even at the end of his career. His career's already over. You know, I don't want to see you fight. I mean, I know they're talking about him fighting in KSI, who's another YouTube star, but I'm just like, if you're that good of a fighter, I just want to see the skills. And it's too many games, and I'm just annoyed by it all.
But do you think people don't want to fight him because they don't want to lose to a YouTuber at the end of the day? Like they've spent their entire life becoming boxers and training for this moment, and then to get knocked out by a YouTuber, even though he's like, in my mind, he's a fighter now. I'm not calling him a YouTuber because I think he is. I'm saying the perspective of someone else who's trained their whole life to become a boxer is just looking at him as like, is he a joke? Is he, no one cares. He's got no real credentials behind him other than he's been in a couple fights.
Listen, it would hurt the ego, it would hurt the soul, it hurt your career if you were to lose to Jake Paul, so there is that risk. However, if you want your name out there, if you want to, and you are a boxer and you want to show that you're actually credible, I think it's a great fight to jump on. The money's there, the attention is there. People are rooting for you. People want to see Jake Paul lose. Be the guy that makes Jake Paul lose.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Number 9.
Numero 9. Charli D'Amelio and her mom are putting on their dancing shoes and joining the Dancing with the Stars cast. This is so funny to me. I expected Charli D'Amelio. I did not expect her mom, Heidi, to also be signing up for season 31 of Dancing with the Stars, which won't be on ABC, by the way. This is going to be streaming on Disney+. This is a big change for them. They're switching over. Obviously, Charli is a huge celebrity. She's got 145
great dancer.
million. Yeah, great dancer. She's got over 145 million followers on TikTok, 49 million on Instagram, and so she's clearly a huge star. Her mom, though, is actually pretty famous herself. Got 10 million followers on TikTok, but they will not be competing together. Let me make that clear. They will both just be on the show, have their own dancing partners, but will this be the first like mother-daughter combination on the show? I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I listen, I'm not a Dance with the Stars historian, but I can't think of any time there's ever been something like this done. Charli is an incredible dancer. She's a trained dancer. Like, she's pretty much a professional dancer. So I do find this to be
fair?
I don't find this to be the most fair thing for the other dancers, because she's that good. She's had lessons, tutoring, all that stuff. But so did JoJo Siwa. JoJo Siwa was a dancer. So I don't know why they would allow that, or I would be pissed going against Charli D'Amelio, because there is some money jackpot for the show.
Well, not only that, half of that show is literally about just getting people to vote for you.
Yeah.
And when you have 147 million people at your fingertips that you can say, vote for me, like, how would she not win?
Well, I think Disney had to have paid them a lot of money, because they need those people to go onto Disney Plus. This is a big season for them. They're going to see if people are actually going to tune in to Disney Plus to watch Dance with the Stars. So they need to get that star power. Charli obviously has that social following, that people, like, they're hoping, hey, some of that audience will kind of go over to Disney Plus and watch her. It's going to be an interesting season.
Crazy.
Number 8.
Number 8, Tommy Lee says he posted that naked photo while he was on a bender.
I thought that's been his career as a bender. Yeah, did you see that photo of him on Twitter that he posted?
Yes, him just full wanging it out. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago on the Raw Rundown. But he was just saying, look, we took a break, and he said, let me actually say the quote. He said, we had like a 2-week break of the tour, and I went on a motherfucking bender, bro. I got fucking sideways and fucking got naked and posted pictures of my penis. End quote.
It's great. I mean, listen, it's time. It's cool when it's cool if Tommy Lee does that, but if Machine Gun Kelly does, it's like, it's a little weird.
It's I don't know. Wiener pics are kind of weird either way, though. Like,
yeah, but Tommy Lee's is famous, man. Tommy Lee's got a famous penis.
He does have probably one of the most famous ones in the world.
Yeah.
And what I thought was funny was his wife, Britney Furlan, commenting on the post.
What'd she say?
That was the only thing that made me feel like this was a whole planned thing, because why wouldn't she just call him and say, hey, sweetheart, little Tommy is on Instagram. Can we pull that down, please?
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, it's like, it's up there, and as soon as it goes up, people are screenshotting it. So then you look like more of an idiot if you delete it, which he might have. I don't even know. I haven't really checked this. I saw the photo.
Instagram pulled that down.
I'm sorry,
Instagram was like, no.
Yeah, but people are already screenshotting, so it's already out there.
Yeah, that was done. It's just funny for him that he thought, on a bender, this is what I need to do. I need to show the world my ding dong again.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I can only talk about his wiener for so long.
All right, number 7.
Number 7. Oh, this is crazy. Harvey Weinstein looks like he will be going to appeals court to try to overturn that 2020 sex crime conviction. So the highest court has agreed to hear Harvey Weinstein's appeal. He wants to challenge the 2020 conviction of the 6 crimes. And I guess one of the judges said, okay, because if you remember, they felt that the judge kind of like had it out for Harvey, and they also found out that one of the jurors on his case had written a book. There was like a book about, oh God, what was it about? Bad evidence over, what the hell was it? I feel so stupid. I can't think of the name of this book. I'm going to think of it. Tell me your ideas on him going back to court and possibly getting this thing turned around.
Dude, it's wild. I mean, you always hear like the appeals, they don't get approved. And for this appeal to actually go through, you wonder if what his lawyers did to pull
his lawyers are like, please, judge, take this case on because we are going to get paid another $10 million in lawyers' fees from this man. Like, they know he's not getting out of jail. You know, he was accused of basically performing oral sex on an actress, and then basically raping another woman. And so I think his lawyers are like, yeah, let's just keep racking up the bill here. And by the way, that juror had written a book involving predatory men. So they're basically saying that juror should have been dismissed. So between that and the overwhelming, they said, quote unquote, bad evidence, they felt that he needed a retrial. So I don't think it's going to turn out any different than what it already has. And he's clearly a gross old man. So, you know what, dude? Have fun.
Yeah,
sitting in jail.
I don't think the lawyers are just like, we're just trying to earn money. I'm surprised they're able to get the appeal. But I'm also knowing that, hey, we're going to get paid. And Harvey's like, listen, I'm just trying to, it's sad to say this, but it's not, but it is, that he's never getting out. So What are you going to do with that money? You might as well spend on your lawyers to throw one more Hail Mary.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6.
Number 6, former Playmate Holly Madison described her sex life with Hugh Hefner as hell and traumatic. So her and Bridget Marquette, from the TV show, they are now starting their own podcast called Girls Next Level. And during the first episode, dove deep into their sex life with Hef, what it was like their first time. Basically said that he wouldn't move. He would be like a bump on the log in the middle of the bed. And this was one of her first sexual experiences with him. And basically that she just wanted to get it over as quickly as possible. But what was crazy was they got into how there would be a lot of people in the room and how this would be super embarrassing and their levels of tension among the women in the room. And she said, look, I can't explain to you guys how embarrassing this whole routine was, especially when we got down the road. There'd be a lot of conflict with the other girls, which I can imagine because they were like the head 3 girls, but everyone was kind of still coming in and out of the mansion. She said you would literally be sitting there naked having sex in front of a group of people who hate you and talk shit about you while you're having sex, and you can hear it, and it just is like hell. I have not personally listened to this episode, but I'm going to go listen to this episode.
I listened to their episode on Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald, and it was, this was the interview that you've always wanted to hear with the Playmates. Like, I want to hear what really goes on. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that Hugh didn't make them sign an NDA so like they can say these stories. Now, again, Hugh Hefner's obviously dead, but I'm surprised they're still able to say these stories because, it doesn't make the Playboy brand, it doesn't put them in the best light.
The Playboy brand has been out of the light for a while.
Still, there's, the sons are still alive. There's still money there. There is some value to it. So I'm surprised they're able to say these stories about Hugh. I did find it interesting. Bridget said, she was like, listen, we'd all kind of run train on Hugh Hefner. Mm-hmm. And, the goal was to be the first one because you didn't want to go on him after 4 other girls did. And he had they would have a doctor in-house, so you wanted to make sure everyone was clean, but you always want to be like the first girl. You don't want to be in the middle of the end because after he was just on all these girls. And allegedly, there was no condoms. So
Wow, it's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy. So go listen to their podcast.
Also, he
it sounds
talked
like
about
it's pretty fascinating.
on the Juicy Scoop. They also talked about how they still had in the Playboy Mansion. They had what was the drug in Wolf of Wall Street that like Quaaludes.
Quaaludes.
Yeah, like somehow like Hugh still had Quaaludes like around, and people were taking Quaaludes, which I thought was just wild. But yeah. This is before Wolf of Wall Street, before it was popular. But I didn't even know you could even still get them. Before it was
popular. I'm pretty sure it was popular before Wolf of Wall Street. We just weren't born yet.
That is true. That is true. Wild thing. Check out that interview. All right, number 5.
Number 5. Wow, this drama between Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis continues on. Basically, she did a whole interview with Variety where she described what he did to her by serving her papers on stage as basically vicious and trying to sabotage her in the middle of a presentation. They do have 2 children together, and that she said that she wasn't surprised that it happened, which, I mean, that's pretty bad. Basically saying that I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people in the studio that I was up there representing. She said, basically to try to sabotage, that was really vicious, but I had a job to do and I'm not easily distracted. But sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason that I left the relationship. Ooh. Burn.
That's a burn.
And for a while, it seemed like, Jason really tried to separate himself from this, saying, I had no idea. I would never do that to her, when we were calling bullshit from the beginning. Like, absolutely, he had to have known. And she kind of backed that up. And she said, the amount of levels that you had to go through to be in this room, COVID tests, numerous wristbands to get past the different levels of security to get to where she was. It was clearly an inside job, and I think that's what she's really pissed about, is that, and then on top of it, she said that the only people who really are going to suffer from this whole thing are my kids, because they're going to have to see that they shouldn't ever have to know that happened to me. So, she's pissed, and I think she's trying to take him down with her.
Yeah, I don't see Jason Sudeikis publicly responding to this, because he already took an L when he did that one move that kind of obviously given her the lawsuit, and kind of it failed on him. Like it wasn't a good look for him. No. And what are you supposed to do? You already have the L. You're not going to keep picking up other L's. You look like an asshole. So, dude, just wild. It's wild that this divorce is becoming very public. I didn't think it was going to come to this, but
I didn't either. But that it's because Harry Styles is in the picture.
Yeah,
if Harry wasn't here, I don't think he would be as mad as he is.
Yeah, I'm with you. I get it.
Okay.
All right, number 4.
Britney Spears deleting Instagram again. So she is choosing happiness, according to her. So she deleted her Instagram page. This is not the first time she's deleted her Instagram page, and she immediately went over to Twitter, which I think is funny. Like, it's literally the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why delete one social media and just go to another to talk about it? She said, I'm learning every day is a clean slate to try to be a better person and do what makes me happy. Yes, I chose happiness today. I tell myself every day to let go of the hurt and bitterness and try to forgive myself and others to what may have been hurtful. So, she's got 55 million Twitter followers, so she's got quite an audience there. But then she went on to say, I pray there's actually truth to the Holy Spirit, and I hope that the Spirit is with my children as well. Obviously referring to Sean Preston and Jaden James, who there's been a lot of fallout with that relationship, and the video that surfaced that K-Fed posted. And she's had a crazy week, by the way. She's releasing this duet with Elton John called Hold Me Closer, which I think is going to be huge. And then in the recent weeks, it's been like the end of her conservatorship, a new marriage, the pregnancy, and the loss of the child, and everything. It's just been non-stop for her. So I can understand if she wants to get off social media for a little bit.
Do you think when she gets off social media and she deletes her Instagram, is she delete it totally, or does she get she shine back on and get verified? How does it work?
No. She definitely, when people do this, they don't delete it. They maybe delete it off their phone and suspend it. And when you suspend it, it's basically just making it inactive for a short period of time. Or not even a short period, as long as you want. And then you go back in and you're like, reactivate, and then all your same followers are there. All your photos go back up. It's all there. It's just hiding, basically.
Listen, whatever makes her happy, but it's just...
Dude, if
I know there's some mental health involved.
If I deactivated my Instagram, people wouldn't even notice.
No, they'd be like, dude, yeah, I know. It's crazy that, what's so funny? It's like, I unfollowed someone recently on Instagram.
Oh,
and like, I don't know what happened.
Low blow.
Like, literally, I just didn't feel like following the dude. Like, he was just corny and he posted too much. I was like, all right, this is not healthy for me. And 8 hours later, it hit me up. He's like, hey, man, really? You unfollowed me? I was like, how'd you know?
In 8 hours?
Yeah, I was like, how'd you know? But I was just like, oh, sorry, I don't run my social media. Someone else does.
Dude, people take that shit real serious.
They do. I just didn't respond. I was like, yeah, that friendship's over.
That is a burn like no one's business. Wow.
Yeah.
I've gotten called out for that too.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, Scott Disick and Kimberly Stewart are apparently dating. There's been a lot of romance speculation for them for many, many months. I mean, back as far as I think she was the first one he was speculated to be dating after him and Courtney broke up. But then he went on to date Sophia Richie and a bunch of other people. But now it looks like they are officially a couple, and he's been posting on social media about them. There was a video of with her and Rod Stewart, but they've been friends for years and years and years. They met through Sean Stewart, her brother, and I guess they run in kind of the same a group of friends and hung out in the same circle, and so they finally hit it off, and I guess gonna see where this goes.
You know what? I am surprised about this. This is not the usual kind of selection for Scott, as he's usually into younger women besides Courtney. Mm-hmm. Like, he's been dating these young stars. But for someone like Kimberly Stewart, it actually makes sense. Like, she's been around. She knows the Hollywood game. She's older. She's wise. Like, I'm pretty sure she has a kid with Benicio del Toro, and I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
But it just, like, this is a relationship for Scott where it's like, dude, like, this is like, it just makes sense. Like, it feels like it would be a good fit. They've been around the game for a while where they just understand.
I also feel like
the business.
He's like dated and done all stuff. Like, it's time to chill. Like, there has to be a point in your life where you're like, all right, time to chill. I got a couple kids. My ex is now married. Like, just chill.
Yeah, but he's not gonna chill.
It's not good for
Scott's
his brand,
still. Huh? Yeah, it's still good for his brand, but he's still, he's still getting paid for nightclub appearances. He still likes that lifestyle of going 100 miles an hour and kind of being somewhat of a playboy. And when I mean a playboy, not like hooking up with girls, but like he hangs out in that scene. He's still going out at night to like the cool spots, like in Miami. Like he still wants to be seen. And but again, I think it's a good pick for him.
Cool.
All right, next one, Number 2.
Number 2, we talked about him earlier, Sylvester Stallone. Him and Jennifer Flavin, this report came out this week that they are getting a divorce, but then it just spawned into 100 other stories about how there was an alleged report that his dog was really the cause to the end of the marriage because he wanted a dog, she didn't. Well, he addressed that, said, no, this has nothing to do with the dog. Yes, we've had some disagreements over the dog, but no, that is not the reason our marriage ended. And there was a report that actually he was blindsided by her filing, which I thought was really interesting. I think I read that on page 6. But what was really interesting is, he had this big tattoo of her face on his shoulder, and he got it covered up with a picture of his dog.
Yeah. I mean,
like, what?
That's so ballsy. At this age, you're still covering up tattoos.
No, but he said that he went to go get her face touched up, and it went wrong, so he ended up just doing the dog on top of it. But I'm sorry, that's kind of a dig to get a dog's face over your wife's face.
Yeah.
And so I think something happened bigger. And the reason I say this was because a lot of people around them were also blindsided by this whole divorce, saying that he's been filming a new show or movie and that she's been coming out to see him because it's been out of town, and they've been totally seeming fine. And then all of a sudden, boom, she files for divorce. Something must have happened.
Something weird happened. We're not hearing the whole story, and I don't know if we'll hear the whole story because it's so inside, like the internal stuff, unless one of them kind of becomes public about it, or someone kind of speaks up, or maybe when it goes to court that we start to learn some things. But something definitely happened.
Big happened, and it happened. Like, I'm not saying either one of them cheated, but this to me screams cheating. And the origins, it's like they go from being in love to filing for divorce. I mean, something must have happened. Okay, let's get on to number one, because this story is crazy. But Nick Cannon set to welcome his 9th child. My God.
He's just, has this become like a PR stunt?
Yeah, but you don't want to make this a PR stunt. These are human lives here. So he posted on social media. It was a maternity photo shoot. He is having this child with model Britney Bell. They already have 2 other children together. So this is the 3rd child with Britney Bell. They also have a son named Golden and a daughter named Powerful Queen. And they had a maternity shoot. And so he then displayed it to the world. She's got her big old belly. And I mean, there's nothing else to say other than this is his 9th child. And, he's said a couple times that he wants to bring as many kids into the world as possible. But, I mean, how many paychecks you going to have, bro, to be able to afford all these children?
I don't know where the money's like. Honestly, yes, he has Wilde and Out that's been on TV for a while, but does he really have that much money coming in to afford 9 kids?
Well, I know he doesn't have to obviously worry about Monroe and Moroccan because their mom is Mariah Carey. But he does have a newborn son named Legendary Love. And then that's with Brie Tessie. And twins Zion and Zillin with DJ Abby De La Rosa. And I was just like, jeez, it's nonstop.
Because each mom, you have to pay some of the moms, right? You
got to pay child support.
So you're paying child support. So you're paying the moms, but also paying to support the kids. And they're going to ask for, obviously the best schooling, the best food, the best formula, which is hard to get. So it's... I just don't understand at this point. Like, is it a PR thing? And then I would actually be curious if he had a show. If his show didn't get canceled, I would have to pitch a great stunt for the show for him to test out his sperm and to see how potent he is. Right. Yeah,
I mean, clearly he is. I would say, what's funny is we talk all about this. I don't even know who he's with. Like, is he with Britney Bell right now or not? Because he's. Clearly, they have 3 kids together, but he's had other kids with other women in the meantime. So, I don't even know what his relationship status is with anyone.
Interesting. That's.
I don't want that kind of drama in my life. Hell no.
Yeah, it just sounds exhausting. I spent the day it just never ends.
My son's soccer practice. I've got 2 kids, and that's a lot of work. Being a coach on a soccer team, imagine having 9 children. Whoo-wee.
Yeah, that's not... Even having assistants is still, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, that's our top 10 stories of the week. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you check out Wednesday's episode. We had the Sun's writer, Jessica Fint, it's an unbelievable interview. She goes in... We learn a lot about The View, about Hoda and Savannah, about their feud, and also Wendy Williams. She tells a Wendy Williams story that will blow your mind. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. We're on it all. Instagram, it's Hollywood Raw Pod. We're also on YouTube, where you can see a video portion of the podcast. Find me at Adam Glyn, Glyn. Find Dax Holt at Dax Holt.
And
thank you guys for listening.
Our private Facebook group on Facebook is awesome. A lot of people enjoying it. We've been having a lot of fun discussions off the podcast about different random things. Adam posts all kinds of fun content in there, just things that he's saying and seeing on a daily basis that we're not talking about here on the podcast itself. So please go to Facebook, find Hollywood Raw, and then when you're on that page, there will be a link to our private Facebook group called Off the Record, and you'll have to answer 2 questions to get accepted in there. But we have a lot of fun, so please come join us. And that's it. And leave us a review. I know we always ask for it, but if you can stop by iTunes, scroll down to the bottom of the page, leave us a 5-star review. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we'll be able to read it at the beginning of the next show. That's it. Bye.
Thank you guys. See you guys later.
What's up, guys? If you like that video, there's plenty more where that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on, let's go.